afternoon, good morning, or whatever, wherever you're from. Welcome to today's session where we're going to be talking about AI overviews, the masterminders, and whatever else gets thrown up in conversation. But before we go into anything like that, please do check out the sponsor, which is Randy, the news guy. His logo is above his own head, and the link is below if you want to go and check out the service or services that Randy is able to help you with. And
Thank
a
you.
little tip, they can also help you with the AI overview. If you jump on a call with Randy, he can even show you a nice example of one that we were able to pop for me very, very quickly. So, yeah, on topic, Randy. AI overviews,
Yeah. Fun topic.
PRs, all works well.
I'm so excited we're all back together.
Yeah, and we need
The
to do it
gang is
consistently.
here.
There's always
I got
someone not well, and it's normally always me.
I
Uh,
know it.
but,
I know it.
but
I'm sporting my new t-shirt I got for Father's Day. Can you read it?
too much awesome. Did they get it out for the wrong person?
My daughter asked me, "Where are you ever going to wear that?" I'm like, "I'm going to wear it on our live stream here. This will be fun."
Why the hell not?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So here I have a question for you. So we're talking about AI overviews. Now, I was just doing a quick search to understand like how much traffic, website traffic is credited or attributed to AI overviews. And Gemini came out and said, well, in fact, since AI overviews have occurred, that there's many different research platforms that have said, man, click through rate has actually dropped like 50 to 60%.
But on the
Some
AI
sites even
overviews,
reporting losses of 90% since AI overviews
oh,
have.
since AI overview came out, people have lost.
Yes.
Right.
So I was trying to it wasn't exactly, I was trying to go more of like, well, if you're in AI overview, how, what kind of traffic it can credited to being in AI overviews, right? So we know AI overviews can pull traffic away from existing sites if they're not in the AI overviews. But so I'm going to throw a question out. Why is it important? Why would we want to be listed in the AI overviews?
I think
What's the
with
value?
with anything, mate, like if you can get your product, your service, or what you're saying out there, and somehow lure people to your website, then why wouldn't you? It's obviously in a prominent search position, but why do Reddit? Why do fucking Pinterest? Why do anything? Why do PR? It's all with a view to brand awareness, exposure, and everything else. And if
Mm.
AI is what Google are shoving up top um, for the here and now, then why wouldn't you want to make sure that your name was up there and not your competitors?
I know. So you're thinking, so in spite of, you're looking at like, hey, it still is a good thing, right?
I
You're
mean, it's not
you're all on.
perfect. It's not perfect. You'd much rather they were landing on your blog post or your page or whatever it was,
Right.
like it was back in the day. But that's clearly not happening. So, for me, and it's again, I always refer back to Holly on this. You've always then got to try and figure a way out to get traffic and get yourself out there, and that's why you've got to dig around and do stuff and try stuff and blow shit up. And no one's saying that being in the AI overviews is perfect. We would much rather get all the traffic ourselves, but You got to do what you can, and if there's traffic to be had from it, then I want some of it.
Yeah, that's what I would say as well. If it's just it's another platform, another source for you to get traffic, because that's kind of where I was going, was that, listen, AI overviews is taking away your traffic regardless, whether you are on in the overview or whether you're not. And so you might as well like try to recover some of it by being in the overview,
Yeah.
and having that impact on your brand as well. I don't
Right.
know. What do you?
Flip the question, right? And I'll flip the question on to Holly. What are you going to do, Holly? Fight for an AI overview or fucking churn out another video? A YouTube video. Or do something else that you're doing that gets more traffic. You know
I
that
mean,
that that.
I don't know why you wouldn't do both, because we know that YouTube videos are in AI overviews, and it's a quick way to get into AI overviews. So why would you not do both? You're going to hit on all platforms. Like, you don't want to stop SEO and just do AI overviews, because you have to do SEO to get into them. So it's just there's not a lot of things that I can say that have changed for AI overviews. There's a way to pop it very fast. There's ways to get ahead of the game by using some of the platforms they tell you to use, but it just depends upon, I mean, affiliate wise, if you're not in AI overviews, then your traffic has gone down like a lot. For local, it's a different game.
Yeah. When you mean different game for local, what do you mean by that?
I mean, we can pop stuff for local things like a best AC repair company, but we can't pop it for AC repair. So, I mean, we're actually doing a big campaign starting tomorrow to see if we can pop for AC repair. Maybe like we'll do Houston, or because we're doing stuff in Houston right now or something like that, but not where it's hot, obviously. But I mean, if you're not in the AI overviews, I don't know. Like, people are still calling G&Bs and stuff. The call volumes are down though. So you're gonna have to do ads, or you're gonna have to get in front of that audience somehow. So it just depends on what keyword terms you're targeting.
Yeah, the challenge is the traffic is still there, I think, anyway. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden we'll just take an arbitrary number, but say 1,000 people was searching the web before AI overviews, and then all of a sudden, now that number's only dropped down to 600, right? The same people, the volume of search and on the web or across the whole internet, meaning social media, blah 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 blah, any kind of platform, it's still there. But that traffic is getting spread, I will say, across all different kinds of platforms.
Right.
Don't you agree with that?
Part of the problem also is that if you take 3 laptops at your house, or phones even, and you look up the search, it's going to be 3 different AI overviews. Unless that you have, crazy? Yeah, unless you really have that trust, and even with that trust, like, if you just hit refresh, it'll bring something else up. So it's trying to find what you want, basically. So it's a little bit frustrating, because we've been doing testing, and it fires different for me than it fires from Michael, which is only a block over from us, right? So, yeah, I mean, we can fire them. We just have to be able to be consistent with them.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Meaning, the question, I guess, is, why do you think it's difficult to make it inconsistent, or to make it consistent? Why do you think it is so inconsistent?
Well, so, like, if you're just trying to fire them now, right, it still has like all these other sites in the database. So if an AI overview pops up and you hit refresh, obviously it doesn't want that answer, so it's going to give you a different answer. And then if you want that, it's going to give you a different answer. And if you click on it, then they're like, okay, well, maybe we're getting closer. So I'm guessing that there's some kind of mathematical thing that they put in there based on what you're clicking on and how many refreshes you're doing. So like if we're trying to say that we're targeting something like Randy is better than fresh bread, we don't want to do the search on it until at least we have enough authority out there, and then we'll do a search on it, you know, because otherwise it's going to be looking for the site. And is it a valid AI overview? Well, it might be for this location, but everyone else is not. So
I'm doing a little experiment on something here. So, Craig, I dropped a link in. I wanted to ask Holly about this. I think this is very funny, and I don't know if you can share that image or not. Did the image pop up, or is it I don't know what popped up in the link I sent you.
Wait, did you send it in Facebook?
It's in the private chat.
In the private. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't get that. So I need to get better at getting images to pop for like
well, I've got a couple of questions before you start. Before you go down the image thing. So obviously you and Paul have got a little bit of, a little bit of push going against each other here on who's going to be the YouTube
and
SEO.
And Peter Drew.
And Peter, yeah.
So there's 4 of us that are trying to do it.
Yeah.
I just did a really soft push on it on Thursday morning just to see if I could flip it, because my name is not, it's for the queen of SEO, it's not for the king, right? So
that's what I was going to ask as well. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I didn't know if I would have enough trust to put it in there. So I just sent GSA to a frick ton of like forums and directories. I made some Reddit posts. I think I did some Twitter stuff like that. And then I just let GSA run. So I was trying, I'm going to do a push on saying Holly Starks is the queen of YouTube SEO, but she also is the king. And see if that'll work. If that won't work, then I'm going to make my own list and try to flip the sucker entirely and take them all out and have my list in there. So yeah. But I mean,
I think that it's funny in the sense that, with the AI overview, it is highly impacted by these authoritative sites that list you or your brand or have them mention with you or associating your brand or your entity with these other entities like Holly Stark's SEO King, right? So multiple entities there, and having post or content out there with those entities in that string. And then I shared with you last week, I think it was, Holly, all of these different authoritative sites that are supposedly kind of this came from SEMrush that
did you see the list I released then? So
I did see your post. Yeah. So you took it you went a little different route, I think.
Yeah. I went in Ahrefs and put them all in there. And Ahrefs now is popping a new AI overview panel on their thing. And I mean, I think it was YouTube by far was like 8.2 million or something like that. So if you are not playing on YouTube, on Reddit, though, even Quora had said, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get into that AI overview. It did tell me that those were the top sites. There might be some between Reddit and Quora. I don't know, but I just put in the top 6 sites that I use. Like I even put Twitter in there. I think Twitter only had like 12 or 15,000 or something like that. I don't remember what it was. So, yeah. I mean, it's YouTube.
That's
why I was trying to take it from Paul, because Paul and Matt Diggity own the video section of the AI overview, and I own the text section of it. So I wanted to see if I could put another similar strong site in there, remove the YouTube video stuff. I've not been able to, because it's still referencing those videos.
Right. I think it is so bizarre, and I would love somebody to give beyond, what we've talked about already, which is, it's got to be some kind of an algorithm. It's got something that is driving it. But this issue of, like, I just did a quick query, like, who is Randy the news guy? And I finally, I can show up, right? I've got my stuff on there. But then, by the way, X is always listed as one of the top or on the knowledge panel side. But if I refresh that, then it's like a whole new piece of content with, and it drives me nuts. And I wanted to get in. So like that image that Craig shared, I wanted to talk as well about, it'll associate, like, and I've seen this with Craig. We've done this in the past as well in the last couple of weeks. You do something and it'll have Craig Campbell and all of Craig Campbell's content, but it'll have somebody else's picture.
Yeah.
As the thumbnail. I'm like, what the hell?
I think it's just, I mean, like, because even for me, and I'm very widely known as YouTube Queen for many years, like, it should pull my picture. It should know that my picture is the queen of YouTube. You know what I mean? And it pulls some random other lady. I don't know if the AI overviews fires the same search area as the image that is pulling. Like, Garen might test that more. I don't know. But I mean, it's the same thing. Like, if you ask ChatGPT and you put a business name in there, like, I put a health company in there, and the health company was for rehab, and they spit out something about, like, it's the best medical center for surgery and blah, blah, blah. I was like, where are you getting this information? Because this is a rehab center. And I gave you the actual website. And so why are you, that's not even the right, like, phone number, even in the right city. So I don't know if it has to do with, it just doesn't have enough trust and authority, or it's just shooting in the dark still. I don't know that.
I would probably have to say it's shooting in the dark because it's so many fucking people wrong. There's, I think Neil Patel, even, and he must have as much authority as anyone, and it was a white guy's face on there, and you're like, I mean, you can't say that guy's not, up there in terms of having the authority and trust of Google. And they've got a fucking white dude's face up. So,
all right, I think and that, like, that shouldn't be something that should be a trusted signal, right? That you shouldn't have to drive links to your picture, plus drive links then to where you want to, different links, different platforms of where you want your website to come into AI overviews. Because if that's the case, I mean, every single LLM is going to have different. ChatGPT is going to, Gemini is different. Because the same tests that I run don't affect ChatGPT. Like, so if you look up the king of SEO, it's not me, even though I'm mentioned in Google now. So it doesn't, it's different approaches to everything.
But I thought ChatGPT was pulling its content from Bing.
I thought it was pulling from Gemini. So I don't know. It might be pulling from Bing, but isn't Bing pulling from Gemini? I don't know.
Like Bing search? What?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I know.
Craig, what's the answer?
You know, like I've always been, if I can dial it in, then I just dial it in. I've dialed it in on the AI overviews and the AI mode, but I know that it
Yeah.
doesn't affect on this other side. That's why I hooked up with Girin, and Girin is teaching me how to change the other platforms, and which are not, we're not taking the same approach.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. I have to be. I don't even know the last time I did a search on Bing for anything,
Yeah.
but I'm trying my Microsoft Bing here search and see what pops up.
Let's see what pops up for like.
Oh, bless me.
Yeah, so in Bing, in their overview, AI overview, I get spoof interviews that he loads up on that blend political satire and musical parodies from Randy Rainbow, not Randy me.
So if you look up the king of SEO, it's Paul, and it's ABC Newswire, which is likely pushing that, and Peter Drew, which also I believe he does stuff with news, and Girin is on there because he also does stuff with news, but I am not, because I am doing like free type links where we're just flooding the SERPs. So it's just a different approach. Where are you trying to put your AI or your overview at, you know?
Man, on Bing, if I do who's the YouTube SEO king, it is like, Paul has got the front and center, bam.
Yeah. But he did the news releases.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got well, and plus he's got a website, YouTubeSEOking.com.
Right. If I look up who's the queen of YouTube SEO, there's not even an overview.
Yeah. So as you begin to pull this thing apart and you start thinking about, okay, well, I think Bing is a little bit different because that is, it's pulling as a citation this almost exact domain
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
Google's AI overview, I don't, you just don't rarely see a exact domain pop up anymore. Not at least on an AIO.
Right. And I've also been able to fire AI overviews on Google, which were never there. So I did a webinar last week with somebody, and I said his name is better than white bread, and it wasn't giving AI overview. And then right during our webinar, actually, later in the day, we did the search, and it popped his name for being better than white bread. So you can trick Google into way more than what you can what you can trick probably ChatGPT and
Right.
the other platforms into.
So now I want to do.
I'm trying to take over the one that Dooley owns, which is, I think it is, who's the father of SEO.
Oh.
So it was James Dooley 2 days ago. Today it's Bruce Clay.
Christ.
It has not been. Like Dooley's not even mentioned at all anymore, and it's just as weird. So I was doing who is the mother of SEO, and I haven't been able to switch that one yet because I'm not known as that, right? So you have to build that before I think you can flip them. That's just from what I've been seeing.
Huh. So it was over on ChatGPT right now as well, and I just was doing the same essentially kind of query: who's the YouTube SEO king? Paul pops up for that first thing, lists his YouTube SEO king.com site, right?
Yeah.
his first citation is a press. Second citation is the press release as well as his exact domain.
Yeah.
And then it pulls up. Oh, this must be off of his website, I wonder. In addition to Paul, other notable figures, and then there's a list of a few other folks that, by the way, is that I haven't looked at Paul's site, but I'm guessing that neither you, Peter, or Garen are going to be listed on his site because in Chat GPT, it's got Daryl Eves and Brian Dean as listed, but I'm wondering if it's because that's who he has listed on his site. I don't know.
I think that those were already listed. Like they already have that. Especially Daryl Eves. He's a very well-known.
Yeah.
You know.
So this is why the world is so like fascinating right now in the world of search, right? I mean, there's just way too much stuff, and it gets back to this whole conversation. I don't know, Craig, we had this last week or a few weeks ago, anyway, about the importance of just expanding your brand so it is as big and powerful as possible across as many platforms as possible.
Yeah, you got to. So many traffic opportunities in so many places. So,
I mean that I don't understand why people keep saying that SEO is dead. It's if you're not doing SEO, you're not going to get into the AI overviews.
Yeah.
Now I understand people saying that their traffic is down and that GMB rankings or calls are down, and I totally understand that. But you still need to do your SEO to get into the platforms.
Right.
It might just be maybe it's very much back in the I want 2015, 2016 days of SEO. You can use XRunner and forums and Q&A websites. You don't have to do the guest blogs and the niche edits so much anymore.
Yeah. I'm curious. You mentioned GSA. So are you doing GSA comments, blog comments?
Yeah. I mean, I always have. I never have turned that off.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those, when you start talking like XRunner and all of that, GSA blog comments are still like,
they're still strong.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we do exact match. Why would you not?
Yeah.
I don't exact match to a website.
Yeah.
You know, it's exact match brand. Exact match in his brand. We're very, very strong on just brand mentions, you know.
Craig, do you ever play around with SEO Neo?
I have, yeah. I mean, I think it's a great tool. It's not one that I personally use day to day for what I do. But I think it's a great tool, and I've even been in their office. I'm friends with the guy, and I was with him.
He was at your conference, right? At the Masterminders. The reason I even bring it up is because he's doing a lot of crazy stuff on there, and there's a little bit of what he's doing that's almost GSA-esque, kind of like there's a thing where you can go on. He's got a diagram where you can do 500,000 wiki sites and submissions.
Yeah.
And you can put any kind of an iframed object in there, put your content, blah, blah, blah. And I'm wondering if by doing that, you know, strategically, if you could trigger the AIO with that method.
I mean, you've seen us talk in the private group. You can trigger it with many things, many ways to trigger it.
I've not played around with it. From SEO Neo, from that standpoint, I mean, we use it
I mean,
It's part of
GSA
our daily tool that we use for our local clients. But yeah, I'm curious about from an AI overview. I hadn't even thought about it until we just started talking about the GSA. I'm like, hey, wow.
Right. So the easiest way, obviously, to test how we test is we put something that's long tail in there, and then we
Right.
specifically rank for that, or
Yeah.
specifically, sorry, search that and make sure there's not one first, and then we'll come back in a few days and see if there's one that's fired. Chloe needs to make an appearance, she says. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, go get it. Go get it. Yeah. We do have a question on here. Can you define authority? That Robin was asking.
God, when Holly was talking about it, was one of the first things when Holly started speaking. That question came in.
Well, it was really, we were talking about authority, right? How do you
Yeah.
build either your brand authority or be on authoritative websites, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
How would you define it, though, in those terms, Craig?
I mean, it's authority and trust and everything else is, you know, you want all of that kind of stuff combined. You know, authority, you know, people will perceive that to be multiple different things, but you need to be trusted. You need to be on authoritative websites. And I think, you know, you need those citations or votes to say Holly is the YouTube SEO queen or whatever it is you're trying to do. And we need enough people to be saying that on trusted sources. That is working for the here and now. But obviously prior to that, you know, Holly's spoken at many conferences where she's got backlinks. She's fucking done YouTube. She's been here, there, and everywhere. I think all of that is authority. You know, Holly, you know, if people come to me offline and they'll be like, you know, Holly, I like what she said, or whatever. That comes because she spent a lot of time building up credibility, trust, demonstrating knowledge and expertise, doing all of the crazy shit that she does, you know, running around with the phones. That is building authority and credibility and trust within the industry that you're in. She's not just talking, she has literally fucking driven fucking 30 hours to Vegas to play in a competition where she wasn't paid. There was nothing, there wasn't even a fucking ice cream on on the line to win that competition. She's went out her way and created authority by doing things like that, where she's like, fuck you guys, I want to play as well, and I'm going to fucking drive 30 hours and I'm going to do this, and this. So I think it goes a lot deeper than just, you know, backlinks and you know, being in the right entities and stuff like that. You know, I think respect, like, you know, respect my authority, but you know, people respect Holly because of what she done and the time and the effort and the way she talks and everything else. And I think that goes for a lot of people, Randy, including yourself. You know, you have done your news, PR, and everything, but you went out and met with people, you've engaged with them, you've helped them, gave them free advice. All of that builds authority and trust and everything as well. So for me, that is building real authority. And someone can say, oh, but fucking Google don't see all of these kind of things, but they'll see the brand mentions, they'll hear people talking about Holly's name, they'll see this, they'll see that, they'll, you know. So for me, that's authority. And people may argue that some of that's not really relevant, but I think that's one surefire way to making sure that you're consolidating your position in the industry.
I think you, just a follow off that is, I also think that you can also fake that authority, right? You can put awards on many different websites. Like my news network, we're just going to mention that, the news network. You can do, you know, 260 award like citations, and that is going to get picked up in AI overviews, right? And you can have fake websites or do a fake PR story about someone speaking in Chicago or at the KOA or whatever. So if you cannot produce that in person, there's very easy ways to produce it online. It's just whether or not you want to sit down and try to do it, which most people
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
because it
yeah.
takes an effort to do.
Yeah. That was the presentation I made at SEO Rockstars last in November, last November, which was I did that exact same thing, created our own award, posted it on a trustworthy site, the award for another site that had the GMB. We did some press release around it. We did some other kind of link building around with it. And then boom, that baby shot up in the
Yeah.
map. It's still number 3 in the map pack for the critical terms. And I just was checking it last week because I was talking with somebody, and it shows up now in the AIO if I go and I put that query in as
Awards are very strong on every
yeah.
single aspect of SEO. Like even for our own directory that we do for the podcasting, we give the people an award and we ask them to link back to our website and put it on their website. So I mean you can build fake DR by doing that too, by the way. But and you can, I mean, there's so many ways you can just manipulate that in itself. But I mean, you can fake authority. It's very easy to fake authority, and it's very easy to get AI overviews and Google to make that look real. It's SEO, it's backlinks, it's PR.
Yeah.
You know,
Craig, I think that's what you need to do so that you would just constantly be above the Craig Campbell, the country singer, is just like hammer out a few more awards, right? So the one that we nailed you with was because you got that ODYS award.
Yeah.
We should just make up a few up more, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I got an award at the Masterminders, but I could fucking, like you say, pull them out your ass if that's what you really wanted to do. The only thing is, and I was actually having a conversation with a guy called Jason Hennessy. He's got a serial killer with his fucking name. But when you've got
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I was talking to him the other day and he's like, dude, come on, you can fucking beat this Craig Campbell, the country singer guy. And I'm like, dude, this guy is a big deal. He's at events every fucking week in the national press every fucking week. It would literally cost me millions of fucking pounds.
Well, and he's got 1 million fans that are probably tweeting and
So-
texting and doing all kinds of shit for him. Yeah.
And that is why that guy's going to run away, because he is, obviously well established, and even on all of these authority websites like Eventbrite and all these Ticketmaster and all of these gigs are fucking all over the place. They're linking to him. Then he's got all the social media. Oh, what a fucking great singer. I mean, they even fucking tag me as by mistake at his gigs, believe it or not. So yeah, it's fucking mad. So I think I could potentially do it, but I mean, it would be pretty blatant that, it would be humanly impossible for Craig, who's spoken at 100 events, to have won fucking 16,000 awards. It becomes ridiculous. And obviously some things like that are just not worth fucking chasing either. It's just ego at that point, and it doesn't make money.
I do think the issue, though, like when you're battling against a celebrity, like what you are in this scenario, the celebrity, because of their, we'll say, worldwide fan base, is, these guys, because you've got these millions of people that are mentioning you, across social media platforms or whatever. I mean, that's just that reaffirmation of your brand authority, I think, by all of these people, right? You've got so many people talking about you. Were you ever, Craig? I didn't even know you were there.
Yeah. Well, when I was at this conference in Manchester, my starting prior to my presentation, or part of the presentation was telling the story about what happened downstairs and how SEOs embellish figures and how that they were going to cut 4 inches down and how you can try and figure that out because I only started with 2. Yeah, it was funny. And you know what the most offensive thing is, Randy? The most fucking offensive thing. No one even questioned that mine was only 4 inches. No one. They just took it. They swallowed it. They fucking swallowed it. So there you have it. But
Okay, I'm going to change the subject on that.
yeah, I know, Holly. We went and got it quick. Thank you, Stephen, for bringing that up. Yeah.
Good Lord. Okay.
Stephen always loses the phone.
Craig, the Craig Campbell search. I think that, have you tried to take it?
Yeah, before, not for a while.
Your YouTube channel is number 3.
Yeah.
Have you tried to take it with referencing the YouTube channel?
No.
Okay, I'll see if I can pop it.
But yeah, that fucking guy, man, the Craig Campbell.
Yeah.
That's, in fact, this conversation actually stemmed. We were at the Masterminders, and people were talking, and there's a guy out there called Jamie IF, and I said in the group chat, "What does IF stand for?" And someone said, "Irritable fucker." And then someone released his real government name and all that stuff. And I'm like, I wish I'd just fucking made up a name like, I don't know, a Matt Diggity or something that just does not have fucking people competing for it, some generic shitty name. So, yeah.
I mean, there's a famous singer with my name, and I've been able to, just get sued from a major company. That works. But if you don't want to do that,
Yeah, Craig, man, I do. If I'm on YouTube and I search Craig Campbell, you show up way the hell down finally in the second stack of shorts. No, I'm sorry.
You do like
the third
stack
of shorts.
I mean, I don't even mind blasting a whole bunch of fucking stuff out, man. But yeah, it was before.
But your name as the title, just your name.
Yeah,
just your name.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something. Give it another bash because we tried everything, all sorts of fucking stuff to try and manipulate that. But it was a few years ago, and then I ended up giving up. I'm just like, fuck this guy. He's won. I'm going to roll over and accept it. But I probably should give it another go.
You have 1.2 million on your YouTube channel, and I think if you referenced your name with that YouTube channel, I think it would pop in there.
Well, yeah, I probably definitely should do that because I don't think I've ever even tried that. Like reference my own name, believe it or not. As an SEO, you're always, with all your videos, you're always thinking of AI overview or fucking CTR manipulation or whatever. You don't really bother with your own name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have Randy do like some press releases about your award. And very like, so, right, you don't want like how we have talked about in the mastermind. We don't want just Craig Campbell, right? You want Craig Campbell, Black Hat SEO or gambling SEO, something like that. And then a third one. So you could do Manchester, you could do the United States, you could do Europe, you could do, you know what I mean? You could do a very central location. But if you just do like Craig Campbell, I think you're going to have a harder time pushing it out.
Yeah.
You need to have a nice, healthy sentence in there.
Here's the thing, too, for this guy, for that Craig Campbell, the singer, is that every one of his videos, name, then whatever the title of the song is or whatever, right? So it's Craig Campbell dash, boom.
Maybe his fucking marketing team know what they're doing. I'm going to go fucking back and get all my thumbnails changed, and every video is going to be Craig Campbell the
Yes.
AI overview.
Yes.
But yeah, it's and sorry for the vague question, but hopefully that answered your question, Robin, in terms of how some of us define authority, and you can spam your way to it as well. For the here and now, anyway. Whether that changes in the future, I don't know. But a PR blast. Long. God bless the PR blasters.
God bless the blasters. Yes.
I have a question, Randy.
Yeah.
I know it might be too early to say, but you know how people are talking about like AI manipulation and feeding the LLMs and stuff.
Right.
Would you say you've seen an uptick in people taking digital PR as a result of this? I'm just curious, out of curiosity, are people like diving deep in on this, going, "Oh, you motherfucker! Like this is even better than from a link building perspective."
I'll just talk. I'm not complaining. So
You've not quite got 4 inches. So.
I've got a lot more than 4 inches in the game. So.
Sorry, Holly. I had to try and pull it back to that.
I feel like I have to say I have like 8 inches, but
oh man, that could be the next PR.
Yes.
Holly,
though I
Holly
think
Starks
people are
has a bigger
doing
one than
stuff,
Craig
and
Campbell.
yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. All right, so we've talked a little bit about the AIO. Craig, give us you're just coming out of the Masterminders, and I'm so sad that I didn't get to be able to go. We were going to go, and then it just ended up being something that weekend hit in conflict, that something that we ended up having to schedule as a family thing as well, and like just prevented us to go make that trip. But
it was a good event. I think it was Kazra's first or Kazbula, shall I say, Kazbula's first event, proper event. He's done like small masterminds of 40 people and things, but I think it went very, very well. Great setup, great hotel. It lasted 3 days. There was a boat trip the night before, which I didn't really go to that. I didn't really go to much of it because I couldn't walk. So, but I was holed up in the hotel lobby. But I think
sitting on your cushion, on your donut,
donut, and obviously I even had to sit on a seat on the stage as well. But I think he put on a good event. And I think people travelled far and wide for it. There was a lot of European guys there. There was Jason Hennessy came over for it from America. A couple of guys came from India and things like that, and a whole bunch of other places in between. So Charles Float was there from Thailand, and so it was a good, varied crowd. And a lot of new faces were there as well that I'd never seen, which is always nice as well. So sometimes you go to conferences and you see the same old faces and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But I think he done well, and there was great knowledge and stuff shared, and a lot of people are saying great things about it. So, I think even from a speaker perspective, it wasn't just SEO related. There was Lara Acosta talking about LinkedIn. She's obviously a killer on just LinkedIn. That's her platform, and I think she absolutely dominates it. You had Carrie Rose doing digital PR. You had various other people doing things that they were on, and they also done a kind of Q&A panel where you had Jason Hennessy, Dooley, and a couple of others on stage. So I think there was nice variety of digital marketing as well. So it wasn't so much just an SEO focused conference, and I think that's also healthy as well. It also was not full of AI stuff, because we seem to be going to conferences just now. As much as I love AI, all you're getting fucking rammed down the throat by everyone is AI, and you're like, fucking come on, man, please give me something else. But so I think there was some good knowledge, and I certainly picked up a few tips and tricks, certainly from other platforms like LinkedIn and stuff. I've got a few little nuggets to maybe refine and polish up I mean, I'm not big on LinkedIn by any stretch of the imagination, but there was some cool, interesting things as to how the LinkedIn algorithm works and what they deem as important. And yeah, it was a good event overall.
Good deal. Well, I'm excited. I'm hoping my son is going to be doing a internship over in Norway next summer. And my plan is I'm going to go over there for like 6 weeks or so and just camp out there, but then go to a number of different of those European conferences. So like I want to go to the Estonia, I think the one in Poland, right? I'm hoping there'll be another Masterminders next year or something like that. So
I think there absolutely will be. From speaking to Kazra and stuff like that, I think he's absolutely gonna do it bigger and better next time. And I think for you, Randy, I know Holly's been and to the UK and all that kind of stuff, but they're actually a good crowd,
Yeah.
good laugh, and obviously, I don't know, have you been to the UK before, Randy?
No, actually, not for business or pleasure. I have not been.
Here's the thing. So Jason Hennessy was there, and he flew into Manchester or whatever, and he was with his son, and then he just fucks off to London for the day. And I'm like, that's like you going to fucking Austin. Like, it's a fair old trek. It's not like, and then he fucked off somewhere else the next day after that. And I'm like, Jason, like, you're just nicking around, like you're going out, like, in a kind of local area. You're traveling the country here. And he's like, oh no, I had to go and see this. I wanted to see that.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit like that. When I went to Nashville, actually, before you guys arrived, I went like a day or two early, and I drove through to Elvis's house in Graceland, which was like 3-hour drive. And people are like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't see this shit otherwise. Like, I'm near here and I'm going to fucking go and see Elvis's house, because I don't know why. I wasn't like a big Elvis music fan or anything, but I just found him quite an intriguing guy, and Graceland and all the stuff. So I think Holly done it as well. She came and she went and done the old Buckingham Palace stuff and all that. And
yeah, we stayed there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, every time we go to the UK or London area, we stay for about 2 weeks. Because you can't, like, me and Lou went and we walked around downtown London area for, I don't know, it was like 6 hours, 7 hours every day. We went to the palace, we went to the cathedrals. Yeah.
You don't get anywhere very fast in London, though, do you, Holly? That's the problem.
No, we took the red train or the bus.
It's fucking crazy busy and stuff. So
crazy traffic.
Even if you went to the Big Ben, Randy, for example, if you like that, I don't know if you do or not, but let's say you went, oh, I need to get a picture next to the Big Ben.
Yeah.
You can't just whip up there in the car and get out and just take a few pictures. Like, it's going to take you a bit of time to get to it and fucking nudge along like the crowds are.
So, like, worse traffic than in New York or LA?
I mean, New York's the worst I've ever seen.
Traffic.
Yeah.
So everyone is driving really slow so they can take pictures out the window, or there's an abundance of people trying to cross the road, and us US people don't understand crossing the roads with rules, I don't think. And
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, we just go out, whatever. They're going to hit me. But it's a lot of traffic. And Uber is not cheap over there.
Yeah.
Every day we went to London, and our Uber ride was like $150, $180 every day.
Where the fuck were you going? One end of London to the other?
Yeah.
I mean, London's a big old place, man, to be fair. But
it was almost a 2-hour drive every time.
jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not cheap. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was easily one of the most, and I've been to Thailand, I've been to, Denmark with you. I've been to London many times. It is the most expensive trip I've been to.
Yeah, London's anything, hotels, it's like New York.
Yeah.
Everything just has a big fucking extra zero put on the end of everything.
Yeah.
And their bathrooms and showers are tiny. And I get very, very claustrophobic and little ass showers, like the one in Denmark, Randy. The one I never closed.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought I was going to get stuck in it. And it's the same way with the UK. The showers are like, I'm like, what is that?
The one in Denmark, I'm like, kind of like this. You get like, good Lord, I'm like in a shoebox.
Exactly the same in the UK. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no two people in that shower, I tell you that.
Well, I'm hoping for a good adventure next summer, though. So to get into a bunch of different conferences over on that side and meet some other additional folks, I think should be fun.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it if you do get here.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth a try.
Before we sign off, we've got to be wishing Holly early birthday wishes. Her birthday's coming up on Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. God. It's scary.
I don't know if I want to ask, but is it a special birthday? Like a special number?
Last year was the special one.
Oh, was last year the special one?
Last year I turned 50. Yeah. Randy came out, and Honey and Lee came out, and Ray Burns came out, and Mark came out, and then that's where we had our first camp SEO. Was when all you guys came out, and they made me wear this feathery thing. I was not happy about that.
I might even have a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah, I think people do have pictures and videos, and I probably threatened them for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for the early birthday wishes.
Yes.
I'm going to drink grappa on Wednesday. So if
we got grappa on the way.
Yes, my grappa. I have 3 bottles. I just bought it. So if I get a little snarky on Wednesday to anyone I email, just in ahead of time, I am apologizing now because grappa email is not always a nice email. Oh yeah, thanks there, Randy. Did you see that?
Thanks for throwing her right under the bus, Randy.
That's good.
Yeah. Randy slept in a tent in our backyard.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good weekend.
Yeah. I'm going to miss you this year, man.
I know. I'm sorry it worked out where, well, we'll be in the neighboring state anyway. I'll say that.
Yeah. It's all right. It happens. I know it's during the summer. It's not always the best for everybody.
Yeah.
Happy going of age. It's one way to put it.
One way of going. Happy going of age.
But
going of age.
But anything else before we wrap up?
No. Maybe next week we can talk about camp SEO out here.
Yeah.
Why not?
And I'd like to get an update. So I know, Holly, you were running a bunch of different tests and stuff.
Yes.
And I would love to get an update on some of the stuff you were testing. Yeah.
Yes. We can update that next week.
Yeah.
Let's do it. There is a question here. How are you guys using Cloud Stacks and Yaks? What's your framework, Holly, aiming at a buffer site before the money website? ?
Honestly, I usually aim at podcast because they can handle it. Podcast, YouTube videos, Amazon. because I destroy websites way too easily if I go directly to them. I just my go-to is podcasts. Not gonna lie.
How about you ever play with the sites.google,
I do.
as
I
a
do have.
buffer site?
Yeah, so I do have some projects on sites.google also.
Yeah, projects, but do you ever use that as the buffer site and then just go hammer that to push your money site?
So the podcasts are linked to the Google sites. So we send it to the podcast, and then we have ones that do follow, no follow links or whatever, and then we will list that as the episode page.
Got it.
So we don't ever actually link to the actual sales page. We'll just do brand mentions to the sales page.
Naked URLs or contextual URLs?
Naked URLs and brand. So if it was Randy Road News, it would just mention Randy Road News, but not with a website listed. I say your name wrong. That's every time.
I know. You say my name wrong. You say Craig's name wrong too.
I say Jasper, and it's not Jasper. It's
Jesper.
It's Jasper. I don't like Jasper. I say Jasper.
What is that, a Wisconsin thing? What?
I think so. It's a Holly thing for
No,
sure.
it's a Holly thing.
It's just a Holly thing.
Yeah.
It's a Holly thing because most people's names I don't say right, not because I'm not being disrespectful at all. I have a speech issue, and so it doesn't roll on the tongue very well.
Well, one last thing to finalize about the Masterminders. I had a friend with me at the Masterminders, and her name was Gemma, and Dooley was calling her Camilla. Yeah. How he got to Camilla, I don't know if that's a Wisconsin thing or a Dooley thing.
I have a feeling it's a Dooley thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's people we met out here, and his name is, I think it's not Alex or Alexis, but it's something like it. And I'm like, where are you from? He said Houston. I'm like, I'm just gonna call you Houston because I am not even gonna try to say your name. It's just I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna offend you. I guarantee you it. And he was laughing at me, and Dawn goes, she's like, no, she's serious. She's really never gonna call you by your name. She's gonna call you Houston. I mean, I mean, you've seen me on stage. People have seen me on stage and they laugh because I have my own way to talk, and I understand it, but sometimes not everyone else does,
Well, whatever works. Whatever works.
Okay, I have to go pick up wood from papers that left.
There you go. It's the wood rodeo.
The wood bandits going out. Dude, I got 6 huge piles yesterday. I was squirrely over that. Whoa.
Yeah. Nice.
Well,
all right. Sounds good.
Enjoy, guys.
Toodles.
And we'll catch you at the same time next week, everyone.
Yep.
And make sure you check out the news guide. The link is below if you want to go and do AI overview manipulation. Go check them out. See you later.
All right.